Hi, welcome back. This is a quick video running over some changes in Start Season patch 13.1. This patch actually adds quite a few fixes and some stuff that's been long waited. Primarily the customized controls. I mean, I don't have a HOTAS, and don't use a gamepad, so I only use keyboard. But from speaking to people that do use joysticks, they pretty much said that as far as the controls are concerned, they're still using the custom method to make their own XML files rather than using the in-game stuff. But as far as basic changes are concerned, you'll notice on the graphics section, you've now got gamma, brightness, and contrast sections. In the controls, you have this extra option at the bottom that says Advanced Controls. So for the keyboard, if you look here, yeah, if you go to the advanced controls, you can actually show keyboards. You've got four different presets by default. I mean, if you just click back for a second, I mean, look, this is the well, maybe not back. Damn it. Let me go back. Right, so if you look at the default image, there you go. We got the pictures of the keys. If we go back in and switch to one of the other presets, say preset sig free. Yep. And you can switch out, and you can see the different keyboard there. I mean, look at the keys. I mean, I'm quite happy with the default. I mean, there's not really much I would really change. The only thing I would potentially have changed was change the keys back that were ordered in 0.9, i.e. the key to go into relative mode, change it back to Control F, change the target and hostile from C back to R. But I've updated all those in my in the voice attack profile, so it's not as important. But as you can see here, you can pretty much control all sorts of things. As far as the other controls, I mean, the gamepad here, look, you've got customization of pad. You can actually customize the individual buttons, and there's also default profiles for that too. Same with the joysticks. If you go to the HOTAS, you can. It's got the option to set. I don't know how well it works in game, but as I said, I've been advised it doesn't work that well. But the defaults for the joysticks, when you got like a default profiles for the G940, the Warthog, the X52, and the X55. So this was a feature that was kind of much sought after by the community, and it's great they've added it. But I'm not sure how well it's kind of working in practice for the HOTAS and joystick users. Other than that, I mean, they've made some other nice changes. I mean, as you know, with this new hangars, when they landed, they changed the way the hangars work. I mean, this deluxe hangar, Revel in York, and each hangar has 5 rooms. So this room here, the room control can hold 1 big ship like a Constellation. It can hold 1 medium ship at the moment, which is like a Cutlass or a Freelancer, or 3 small ships like this one here. This one here got the Avenger, M50, and the Super Hornet. They're working on the medium ships to try it so you can get a medium ship and a small or 2 mediums in a hangar. That's still a work in progress. Technical limitations. That's still to come. But they also added with this patch the website. So when you go to the website, you can actually change your ships now. So if you go into your hangar section on the website after logging in, at the top you've got a configuration button. Whereas before you used to just switch between the hangars, now you have a configuration, and you get an overlay come up. You can actually shows you the 5 different rooms, and you can actually specify what ships you want in each room. So as you see here, I've changed them up. See, on my before this patch liner, you could change this. This room here would have the Super Hornet, M50, and the 350R. See, I changed the 350R and put my Avenger in there. Main reason being is that when I was looking at my 350 in the hangar, I always got the impression that I wanted to fly it, and I do not like flying it. And if you go over this way, I have my Constellation Aquila here in this room. Before this patch, in this room was an Aurora LN and my Avenger, so I managed to trade out and see my other Connie. I only have 2 Connies now because, as I've said in previous videos, the Andromeda and the Taurus were definitely temporary ones, and I've traded those in. I was saving them for the Aurora, for the M890, but the Reclaimer came out, so I traded those two ships in. I melted them both, and I've had OTI. I traded them to get myself a Reclaimer. I still have an R50, which I'm gonna get rid of at some point, or when I can do a cross chassis upgrade, I will do so to something to keep the LTI. And we got the Carrack coming soon, so when the Carrack is announced, there's a good chance I may trade in my Aquila for the Carrack. But other little changes we've seen. The M50, as you see here, you've actually got missiles now mounted on the wings correctly where you didn't before. It definitely wasn't there before. They also tweaked or balanced the M50 a little bit. So basically what they've done is, I've only done like one lap practice lap. I've not actually done any proper racing, but just from that, I mean, I can see that you accelerate a lot quicker now than you did before in the M50. So you accelerate a lot closer to what you do in a 350. They've reduced the power of the maneuvering thrusters, reduced alpha some of the components for dogfighting, and as I said, we've added missiles. You got 2 missiles under each wing now, and also a big thing here on this ship is the M50. That the weapons are now gimbaled. So in dogfighting, you know, you can actually, yeah, they're gimbaled. You're not having to try to thread a needle, you know, thread a needle to actually try to hit something, which was a pain in the ass. So from what I've seen so far, I mean, the leaderboards have been reset, and we're into the second part of the season or pre-season for Murray Cup. And from what I understand at the moment, the leaderboard's not really working properly at this point. I mean, prior to this, I mean, I had like I think I was number 7 in the Defford Link racing track, number 16 or 15 in the record one, and like 70 something in the first one. But from what I understand, at the moment, the leaderboard only seems to be clocking races that are done in private mode rather than public. I need to check that out and do some races to get my name back into those leaderboards. But they re-enabled the private matches with this patch, so which is definitely a good thing. I do tend on, I mean, I've been streaming a lot of Star Citizen, so I will be streaming a lot of racing and dogfighting with private matches with viewers, starting from, you know, maybe I'll do some tomorrow. And you know, but as well as this patch, there was a lot of kind of little bug fixes in it. I'm not going to go through the whole list, but I'm actually going to show, you know, I will link directly to the patch notes in below. But I was just going to show you, as far as that, the only other thing I've really noticed to change. I mean, inside the Phoenix, there's a few more. We've got a few more functiony things, or a few more tweaks. They've added a lot more paneling. So looking from here, I mean, this room here, the lighting definitely looks a bit better this patch. It looked a little bit buggy before. That's actually been tweaked. As you come into the back room, if you recognise this from before, previously these walls along the side, they were plain. You've got this wooden paneling here now, more. And you also got a bit more paneling on, you know, around the doors, etc. This was all blank white as well. But as well as that, we have a surprise. I mean, look, these cupboards. You got 2 cupboards here above, like the sink on the hot plate where you cook. They weren't there. You can't actually function. You can't open them, one of them, but they're there. So they're kind of still adding a little bit of detail into the Phoenix here, which is definitely good. I mean, that's pretty much all I was going to say. All I really want to say about the patch itself. We still don't have the Gamescom trophy, the Gamescom 2014 trophy, which I paid $5 for a couple of months ago before Gamescom. We're about a month since Gamescom ended, and I still don't have the trophy in my hangar. What, the trophy in my display case, and that is kind of depressing. But you know, that's minor niggles. Each patch I kind of run straight to the trophy case to see if the trophy's in there, and alas, it hasn't happened yet. But it's going to come, right? It is going to come. I'm going to be doing, you know, as I said, I've not really done much racing or dogfighting since this patch landed, so I know that the M50 I've been hearing is a lot more squirrely. It's not as on rails as it was before, but it is faster, so people are clocking faster times, which means I'll also be able to clock faster times. There's not much else really going on currently. I mean, we've had the new jump point out this week, which has got some more. There's been some more Redeemer or Reclaimer pictures, concept pictures in the subscriber gallery, which look frickin' awesome. We've kind of had confirmation. We've got CitizenCon coming up next week, so I mean, as far as information or new information, it's kind of a lot of it is on the hold as far as from SIG is concerned, because next week we have the CitizenCon, which is their yearly big event in LA. I think it's LA, and everything's pointing to them showing off a demo of the PU at the CitizenCon next week, amongst other things. I mean, speculation that there's going to be a new variant shown around the same time, and if what I've said is correct, the next variant should be the Cutlass, because they've said for a long time that the Cutlass is coming after the Constellation, and Sandy did actually drop a link of a rear view of a Cutlass ship, one of the actual Cutlass variants, on her Facebook today. So yeah, which makes me think it could well be that. But we also have the Mustang, which should be with us very soon. I mean, the Mustang Omega variant, the AMD ship, should be with us now. I mean, October 1st is when AMD kept saying they was going to give it to us. As far as I can tell, all the files are in the patch, because Anything FPS put out a video today showing off the AMD Mustang, and I must say it looks beautiful, and I can't wait to get mine in the hangar. So next week is going to be the big week. I'm not expecting much really from patches now for a little bit, maybe until 1.0, unless they fix something. I think 1.0 they was planning on getting out before PAX Australia, which is the very last weekend in October. I think it's October the 30th through to the 2nd of November, something like that. It's the last weekend in October, start of November, which is when they're going to be saying they're going to be showing off the FPS module. But next week, PU demo is what I expect, and I'm probably going to do. I'll hit up some more, try to do some more racing, as I said. Maybe if I notice some really big changes in the racing, I'll maybe do a little racing video. But I have been, when I've been racing on Twitch and breaking lap times, or breaking my best lap times, or hitting, increasing myself on the leaderboard, I've been doing highlights to those races, and I'll continue to do that. So if you're following me on Twitch, you can check the highlights over there for races, specific races, like newer races where I'm actually doing decent times. Other than that, I'm just going to finish this up here. I'm not going to make this too long. As I said, it's just a quick overview and the patch. Although there's some major things in there, there's not too much that I've been able to test myself, really, because I don't really use the control configuration, which is the big thing here. It's not something that's really any use to me as with a keyboard and mouse. But I'll see you all again, and check the links in the description below for my Twitter and for the full patch notes, and I will see you again soon. Bye bye.